Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the Senate, of the House of Representatives, yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
We had figured out that there was an attack happening. We didn't know where it was happening.
The U.S. was at peace with Japan until striking an oil embargo on them because of their conquests in the Pacific. This oil embargo threatened to crush Japan's economy, which caused them to make a massive preemptive strike, which would knock the U.S. out from the Pacific.
4 battleships, 2 destroyers, and over 188 aircrafts that were destroyed, and that is not to mention the amount of damages that were caused. "2,400 Americans were killed, and 1,250 were injured. Japan only lost 55 men in the attack on Pearl Harbor." A few days after the attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan, Roosevelt officially declared war against the Axis powers because Pearl Harbor was basically the last string that was pulled before the U.S. entered into World War II. And he said in his statement in the infamy speech that he gave after the attack, "I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire." It was only a couple of days after Pearl Harbor also that Germany and Italy declared war against the U.S. officially. By 1937, Japan was in full-out war with China, causing relations of other countries with Japan to plummet, and Japan turned to the Axis powers, quickly making alliances with Germany and Italy. Japan's imperial ambitions placed the U.S. right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in their way for them to conquest what they wanted to conquest. If Japan had destroyed American aircraft carriers, it would have left the American Pacific Fleet virtually incapable of operating. So it was a failure on Japan's part because they weren't able to destroy them, and it was very lucky for the United States that they were not destroyed. Along with failing to destroy the U.S. aircraft carriers that were situated in Pearl Harbor, Japan failed to destroy U.S. ship manufacturing facilities that were there, and they also failed to destroy bases and power plants and fuel tankers that were in Pearl Harbor. So that allowed for the U.S. Pacific Fleet to also continue on operating. Two destroyers, and over 188 aircraft. Get out for the attack that the Empire of Japan had. It was only after Japan had failed at destroying Japanese Americans, along with failing to destroy. Along with